You all have been asking for it, the comparison between the BlackBerry Motion and the BlackBerry KEYone. Two phones that couldn't be any more different on first sight. But actually, technically, they share a lot of the same aspects. So let's dive right into the comparison. Both of them, of course, share the same brand name, but they also both feature the Snapdragon 625 processor with 4GB of RAM on the BlackBerry Motion and either 3GB in the Silver Edition or 4GB in the Black Edition KEYone. Both run on Android 7.1 Nougat and both also have a 12MP main shooter and an 8MP front-facing camera. So what are the obvious differences? Of course, the devices themselves. The KEYone has an old-school BlackBerry physical keyboard below the screen, covering about a third of the whole phone, shrinking the screen size to a 3:2 4.5-inch 1080 by 620p display with 433 pixels per inch. On the other side, the Motion is a full-screen device with a screen size of 5.5 inches with a resolution of 1080 by 1920 pixels and only 403 pixels per inch. However, you don't really notice a difference when using them. Both are really sharp and bright, and there's really no need for any improvement. Below the screen, you'll find a fingerprint sensor on both of the phones. On the KEYone, it's integrated into the spacebar of the physical keyboard, while on the Motion, it's integrated into the home button, which you can also use to swipe down the top settings menu and also take private photos that automatically get stored in a locked folder when you push on it. A really cool idea in my opinion, but I did find the KEYone's fingerprint reader to be a tiny bit faster than the Motion's. On the bottom, you'll find a USB-C port on both of them and a speaker next to it. The KEYone speaker is really loud with a pretty clear audio quality, while the Motion's isn't really that great. They did change the button layout though. While the KEYone still has the power button on the left side, the Motion has all buttons on the right. And this sometimes gets kind of annoying since the convenience key is in the perfect position of your thumb, and I guarantee you will mistake it for the power button, even if you use the device for several months like me. The BlackBerry Motion's backside is made out of a carbon-like rubber material, which helps you keep the phone in hand. It's very grippy, and it's very similar to the KEYone's, which doesn't have the carbon fiber pattern. The cameras might have the same amount of megapixels, but they certainly do not share the same sensors. The KEYone shares it with the Google Pixel 1 and also seems sharper, has better colors, and it works a lot faster and smoother. The Motion isn't really good in that category, since many shots get blurred even in good lighting conditions, and HDR is pretty much unusable because it just is too slow. But you should judge for yourself with these examples. The software on both phones is pretty much the same. Both run Android 7.1 with a light BlackBerry skin on it, and it just feels exactly the same. The convenience key works differently though. While on the KEYone it directly opens an app, the Motion gives you 3 options to choose from, and those change depending on your surroundings, so whether you're in a car, in a meeting, or on the go. And I do really prefer this on the Motion. The Motion does appear to run a tiny bit smoother with less hiccups and better multitasking performance. I don't know why this is, since they have pretty much the same internals, but you can really notice it. The BlackBerry Motion also has a 4000 mAh battery, while the BlackBerry KEYone only has a 3505 mAh battery. It doesn't seem like much, but you do really feel the difference on the BlackBerry Motion. The Motion's battery is absolutely amazing. It never left me stranded, and using this thing for 2 days is no problem at all. Definitely the best battery I've ever used. The KEYone's definitely isn't bad either, with it getting me through a day without issues, and if you don't use it heavily, you could go maybe 1.5 days or even more. And of course, another big difference is the keyboard. I do prefer the physical keyboard on the BlackBerry KEYone because it just gives me the physical keyboard. I can type without looking on it, and it's just a lot more accurate. And it's also touch sensitive, so you can scroll and you can swipe to the left to delete words or swipe up to flick up suggestions. Those touch sensitive buttons actually work the same as on the BlackBerry Motion, which has of course the virtual keyboard, but you can also use the same gestures there. But personally, I do prefer the keyboard on the BlackBerry Motion. So that's it with this video. So what can we say at the end of this comparison? we can say that the BlackBerry KEYone and the BlackBerry Motion really are kind of different phones, but they both kind of share the BlackBerry identity. While I would say the KEYone screams it much more. It really has the BlackBerry identity. On first sight, you know, this is a BlackBerry, you have the keyboard, you have that design, that premium design that just screams BlackBerry, while the BlackBerry Motion isn't so much. If you would replace the logos with, I don't know, HTC or something, you could say it's an HTC. It's just not that BlackBerry, if you can say that. So if I had to choose between two phones, I'm currently using the BlackBerry Motion, I would choose the BlackBerry KEYone, just because I love the keyboard, I love how quick you can type, how accurate you can type, and that's why I chose the BlackBerry. At first, when I first bought a BlackBerry, that was because of the keyboard. Nobody had it, and nobody has it currently, except for the BlackBerry KEYone. So that is why I would go for it. Also, the camera is a plus for me. I take a lot of pictures for social media and send a lot of pictures, so the BlackBerry KEYone is the productivity device for me. So if you like this video, make sure you give the video a like, make sure to subscribe my channel if you want to stay updated with new videos. Also make sure you leave a comment in the comment section below. Which one would you choose? The BlackBerry Motion, the KEYone, or a totally different phone? That would also be interesting. And also make sure to follow me in my social media channels, Instagram and Twitter. You can see them right now. And you might have noticed that I'm sick. I have a flu again. I constantly have flu, so I hope I can get better to make new videos next week. So see you in my next video. Until then, bye.